Joes, pour up the shots. Really can't help it, got a star status. Even got it tatted on my arm. Yes, we be 5 green strong. Left a little room cause it's quest for the seeds. Starboy really reppin' this shit. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's no more left in me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me.
Yeah, tell me who the #1 fan. Yeah, Mr. Westside, I'm the man. Dallas Cowboys from my head to the toes. They better recognize who the fuck I am. Damn, haters run their mouth like a bitch when they team ain't shit and my team stay lit. Yeah, I'm about to rep this shit to the day I die.
What up?
Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's no more left in me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. DC, that B4L, reppin' that star, I do it so well. It's Puma on the toes, but it's stars on the clothes. I'm Starboy, fresh at the DF Dub. Yeah, I'm a hard hitter. Don't stare to fit, it'll ego hit you. What is you saying, man? Look at the swag. Please do forgive the brag. I'ma pull up later in the cowboy jag. Don't you slip on the drip, I'm flossing the sauce. Go so hard for the star. Yeah, that be win, lose, or draw. If you take a L, get the F off my block. Cowboys win. Watch Joes, pour up the shots. Really can't help it, got a star status. Even got it tatted on my arm. Yes, we be 5 green strong. Left a little room cause it's quest for the seeds. Starboy really reppin' this shit. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's no more left in me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me.
Yeah, tell me who the #1 fan. Yeah, Mr. Westside, I'm the man. Dallas Cowboys from my head to the toes. They better recognize who the fuck I am. Damn, haters run their mouth like a bitch when they team ain't shit and my team stay lit. Yeah, I'm about to rep this shit to the day I die in an all blue casket. If you wanna get with a club with love, tell Star Status Westside sent ya. Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame. Emmett Smith is our main. Game time, prime time, all the time. Your team ain't never on TV like mine. That's because we different. We America's team and we run this. Like Zeke runs circles right at defense. Jerry Jones, that's nonsense. Let the coaches coach. And I'll have a smoke. And I know y'all wanna toast to that.
Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's no more left in me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. DC, that B4L. DC, that B4L. Reppin' that star, I do it so well. DC, that B4L.
What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. Yo, in 2020, I've teamed up with my hot boy Jalen Smith, number 54, to bring you guys some of the most exclusive eyewear known to man. CEV. I mean, everybody's wearing them. Make sure you guys go over to CEVcollection.com today and use promo code CEV West Coast to get yourself a hot boy discount today.
Coming down, sliding down, riding high, ready to go on this great Sunday. Yeah, what's up with you, man? It is your boy, West Coast. I know you supposed to be in church this morning, but your church got canceled because of the coronavirus. But don't trip, because I got you this morning. What's up? Hey, what's up with you, man? It is your boy, West Coast, man. How y'all doing on this Sunday, man? This is kind of crazy, man, right? I done did everything on the internet this morning. I got up this morning. I said, what's up to my internet family, my scouts. I even went to internet church this morning. Like, it is crazy. So I said, man, if I did everything, if I didn't got on the internet everywhere else and then did, I might as well get on here and talk a little bit of cowboy football. You know what I'm saying? Why not? You know what I'm talking about? Why not? And, hey, man, I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering, why are you paying your cable bill right now? Because there's absolutely nothing on. But don't trip, man. Your boy West Coast got you through through these troubling times. I see it like this, man. I'm always talking about cowboy football anyway. So why not just go live and we just all talk together and we gonna get through this. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get through this together, man. But hey, before we even start, man, let's some shout out to the sponsors, man. CEV, shout out to Jalen Smith and the family out there, man, for always rocking with the kid, man. Remember, you guys can get your CEVs. You can look at it. Wow, you see I'm West Coast? Oh, look at that. See, I'm clumsy. Well, watch this. Watch how smooth I get when I put them on. What did? You feel it? Do you feel it? I feel it. Oh, yeah. And more importantly, I don't feel it. I see it. I see EV. Clear IV. Hey, make sure you go to cevcollection.com. When you purchase, type in CEV West Coast, and I got you on a discount. Don't trip. Hey, man, this show's only going to be for an hour. We're going to get in and we're going to get out. The reason why it's going to be for an hour is because we're going to be going live a whole lot. Why? Because there's really nothing on TV, and since we're nothing on TV, your boy West Coast got you. You're gonna use this time to get ourselves educated on as much Dallas Cowboys as possible. So during this time when everybody's stuck at home, hey, I'm gonna try to bring on as many other players and people that are stuck at home with us. Because my thing is this: if you can't go out with your homies, you might as well get on here and talk some football with West Coast, right? So tomorrow at 6 p.m., I will have free agent guard Kadeem Edwards. Kadeem Edwards, remember, he got hurt. He was a former Dallas Cowboys, got hurt in 2018. We released him, and we released him after 2018, and he's a free agent right now. He's healthy, ready to, trying to get himself a job like everybody else in the NFL. And, we reached out, and he definitely was interested in coming on and talking about some Cowboy football and talking about, exactly what's going on. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. Hey, man, 2018, if y'all was a fan of 2018, that was a very interesting season, right? So why not talk? Why not? I mean, we was literally, y'all remember our records? We was 3-5 and then turned that thing around and ended up going to the second round of the playoffs. So I'm really interested to ask him, not even just offensive line questions, but just to ask him some questions about the mindset of that 2018 team. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm very interested. I'll have some pictures and stuff up of him on, my boy said quarantine cowboy chat. I like that. We might have just came up with a new fave. Hey, it's gonna get ghetto in here for about 2 seconds. Why? Because there's a fly flying around here, and I'm gonna kill him. But I'm gonna just know that when it happens, it happens. So if it shake for a minute, it's not an earthquake. So man. So we got Kadeem Edwards coming in on tomorrow, and then I got my buddy. I got a good friend from my boy Jake over from EBSN. That is everything Buckeye Nation. He's going to be coming on the show on Tuesday, and he is going to be talking us about everything that's Buckeye Nation that is related to the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm going to tell you guys, there are certain schools that just put out pros, man. Like there are just certain schools that just put out consistent pros every year, right? And the Buckeyes are one of them. Alabama's also another one, too. I'm working on getting one of my Alabama scouts on here to talk about some Alabama stuff, too. But on Tuesday, we for sure going to have a Ohio State guy on here, and he's going to Jake from State Farms. We're going to have Jake from State Farm. Actually, it's Jake from EBSN on here. We're going to have him on here Tuesday. And we're going to talk some Buckeye football. Not necessarily Buckeye football, but we're going to talk about Buckeye football as it pertains to Dallas Cowboys. Like, who do you think that we should draft from Ohio State? Like, is there a receiver that we don't know about? Is there a cornerback we may not know about? Is there anything at Ohio State that we should be interested from a fan base? So he's going to come on and he's going to talk everything Cow. And the best thing about this dude is everybody that I bring on is going to be a Cowboy fan too, well, for the most part. But this guy is a Cowboy fan. So not only is he an Ohio State fan, but he's also a goddamn Cowboy fan. My boy said any Boise State scouts. I know, right? Hey, Cody, are you a Boise State fan? Because if you are, you might be eligible.
you might be eligible. You know what I'm saying? To work for West Coast, I don't really require much. You know what I'm saying? Hey, hold on, Instagram. You might shake for a minute because this fly is hey, this stream is brought to you by this fly. You know what I'm saying? And the sponsors, and guess what? This is the sponsors about to kill it. And I appreciate everybody. But hey, man, my boy said Jake from Fake Farms. OD, Texas, where the snacks. I don't mean food. Bring Harrison. I don't know. Show Chris. Hey, man. A lot of times I have subjects and stuff that I want to talk about, but I'm going to just go ahead and jump into one that I know you guys are very, very interested in. And that is, I think it's going to be that the need at defensive end. And that is that right defensive end, to be exact. And if you're looking at right defensive end right now on the Dallas Cowboys depth chart, they currently have Tyrone Crawford listed as your starter for your right defensive end on the opposite side of DeMarcus Lawrence. Now, we all know Tyrone Crawford was suspended for a few games last year, but he also got injured. Been with the Dallas Cowboys for about 7 years, if I'm not mistaken. And for the most part, has been, my thing with Tyrone Crawford has always been that his agent was better than his play. Tyrone Crawford signed a really big contract early in his career, and not necessarily that he lived up to it, but I just think he probably shouldn't have even gotten a contract like that. But hey, man, you can't knock a man for getting it. If Jerry Jones is willing to pay him, you can't definitely get mad at him for wanting to take the money. So, but in the end of the day, Tyrone Crawford has not necessarily, in a lot of fans' mindset, looked up, kind of, lived up to that money. But at the end of the day, man, I think that the Dallas Cowboys love his versatility, and he loved the versatility. And not only did they love Tyrone's versatility, but more importantly, man, I think the Dallas Cowboys love the fact that Tyrone Crawford is willing to play pretty much any position that the Dallas Cowboys put him at. Like, I've seen Tyrone Crawford play from defensive tackle all the way from defensive end. There was a time where he played, we didn't really have like a nose guard, but there was actually a time where he played right over the right over the center. Now, my boy Mike Fisher had a very interesting tweet, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I know a lot of you guys like a lot of these like websites and stuff, and a lot of these websites will say, fun stuff like the Cowboys are interested in this player or they're interested in that player. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, like, there are certain people in the industry that I've just learned to just kind of trust, regardless if I like the information or not. Because I think a lot of times we kind of look for bloggers who kind of agree with what we're looking, what we're kind of going for at that time, and then we kind of ride for it. But one thing I like about Mike Fisher is even when I don't necessarily agree with him, for the most part, man, Mike Fisher knows what the hell he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? So this is what Mike Fisher had to say, man, about Tyrone Crawford. Somebody tweeted, hey, man, and also I'm going to tell y'all, man, y'all got to be nice when y'all be tweeting. Like, some of y'all be so, like, so when y'all be tweeting, man, y'all be saying stuff, y'all be like, God dang, y'all be talking crazy about your own players. But anyway, this guy named Eric, not to put him on blast, but on Instagram, I got a tweet up. Man, this fly is killing me, man. I'm serious, bro. Like, for real. I already told y'all, it's going to get ghetto for like 2 seconds as soon as I get him. But let's get back on task. All right, so Eric tweeted Mike Fisher, and Mike Fisher's, he's the GOAT, man. I ain't going to lie. He says, as they should be, he said, let's go ahead and cut Crawford and sign Everson Griffin while we're at it. And Mike Fisher immediately responded back to him, and his response back to him is, my bet is that the hashtag Cowboys don't get a sniff of Griffin, but bring back Crawford at a reduced salary. So, for some of you guys who have been, kind of asking what's going on with Tyrone Crawford, man, I want to let that marinate on you real quick. You know what I'm saying? When the juices and the berries, they start popping, you take it out the oven, you kind of like sit there for a minute. When you see a tweet like that from a reputable guy like Mike Fisher, what does that say to you guys? What does that say to you guys? What does that say? To me, first thing it says is whatever Everson. I don't think any defensive end right now that's in a mode of Everson Griffin, meaning a little bit older, I don't think the Dallas Cowboys are going to necessarily be interested in him. And the reason being is because the reason I think believe is because you just picked up an older guy, an older journeyman in Gerald McCoy. And technically, if Randy Gregory would have been playing, and I'm not saying I don't think the Dallas Cowboys should be using Randy Gregory or David Irving as a guaranteed this guy is going to be a starter for me. I think that would be foolish. Why? Because as much as I love both players, I just don't think that's realistic in the NFL. And, I think it's also realistic that the Dallas Cowboys might look at bringing in some type of younger guy. Now, I think the Dallas Cowboys would be interested in bringing in I think the Dallas Cowboys would be interested in bringing a free agent in. And I'm not necessarily saying that this is what we're going to draft, because I want to show you guys another little clip in a minute too. But I definitely think that this right here, the fact that he says don't even get a sniff means basically that there's no interest. You know what I'm saying? So if there's no interest in a guy like Everson Griffin, it makes me want to think about, other players that are kind of Everson Griffin-like. And guess what? I would think they would probably not be interested in those guys either, because there hasn't even been a number come out on Griffin yet. So I think there's not necessarily, like, when they're already saying they don't like you and you ain't even said how much you cost, it's you, bruh. It's you, bruh. It's you. They don't like you. They don't want you. Now, do I think but I'm going to be honest with you. The Cowboys don't know Everson Griffin, so I don't want you to think it's anything personally about him, but I just think it's that mold, that older defensive end. I don't think the Dallas Cowboys are looking for that. I think they're looking to put some youth on that side. So if the Dallas Cowboys do go into the free agency, find me a young defensive end who might have gotten released or on the verge of getting released. Now, I know the first person whose name that comes up is Jadeveon Clowney. I already know. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, in my humble opinion, I do not think the Dallas Cowboys, even at the right price, would be interested in Jadeveon. At the right price, obviously, you're interested in any player. You know what I'm saying? But Jadeveon Clowney just turned down a contract extension with the Seattle Seahawks for $18.2 million a year. He turned it down. For the most part, he wants to get paid wide receiver money. He wants to get paid Amari Cooper money. He wants to get paid $20 million a year. And you got to see it like this. When the Dallas Cowboys give you that type of money, I don't even think it's necessarily about what they think that you can personally do. I think it's like, what does $20 million mean on the Dallas Cowboys? $20 million is Amari Cooper. Do you think that Jadeveon Clowney will come onto the Dallas Cowboys with hold up. Got him. Did I get him? I don't know if I got him. But do you think that Jadeveon Clowney is going to come into the Dallas Cowboys and have a Amari Cooper-ish type of impact on this team? And my answer to that is, I don't think so, guys. I don't think so. And the reason being is because if you look at Jadeveon Clowney, and not to kind of like no shade toward him, because I definitely think he's a good player, but Jadeveon Clowney, in my opinion, man, it feels like he hasn't really lived up to his name. Or am I tripping? It feels like he's always been chasing that big old hit that he did on that kid from Michigan, right? That's what it feels like. I had a guy tell me, Jadeveon Clowney, he's had a double digit. I'm like, no, Jadeveon Clowney is not. He's a guy that's been on the cusp. He's a guy that's been on the cusp of getting 10 sacks. But you got to think like this, man. I keep wanting to call D-Law. DeMarco Lawrence. I don't know why. But my boy Law gave you 26.5 sacks in 2.5 years. Jadeveon Clowney's at about 18. And the Dallas Cowboys didn't want to give him were really contemplating on franchising him twice. Now, if you go look at the stats, if it took that for my boy D-Law to get paid, I'm going to be honest with you. A guy like Jadeveon Clowney, I see why a lot of teams are backing off that, because if you really, really look at the numbers outside of outside of of the Michigan play and the few plays he played in Houston, man, I think it's going to be hard for Jadeveon Clowney to get $20 million from anybody. Like that's just my opinion on Jadeveon Clowney. So for the Dallas Cowboys to bring him in to play him on the opposite side of DeMarcus Lawrence, I just don't think it would make sense to have $21.5 million on the left side and having $20 million on the right side. Like, man, what is the net effect of that is going to be? Because one guy is going to get double teamed. And then guess what? His sacks probably number is going to go down, and the other guy's sacks are going to go up. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like what you saw with a Robert Quinn. But my thing is this. We didn't have to pay Robert Quinn $20 million to go get 11.5 sacks. So with that, I want the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, my thing is this. For this right end position, because as of right now, you have the Dallas Cowboys. I'll show you guys. Let me see if I can get the here it goes right here, the depth chart. I want you guys to see this. Currently, right now, look at this. This is your depth chart for the Dallas Cowboys your right defensive end. You have Tyrone Crawford right now. I'm going to switch my shoulder over just a little bit. Boop. See that right there? Tyrone Crawford. Behind him, you have nothing. So, yeah, I definitely think that the Dallas Cowboys need to do something at right DN. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. If I almost want to think that right DN is almost, in my opinion, just as big as a need as guard. But I value touchdowns more than I value getting sacks. So guard is always going to come over for that. Now, I think I'm hearing some people saying, does that mean that we're going to go, what do you think about going first round at DN? My thing is this, man. If the Dallas Cowboys don't make any moves at right DN, I definitely think it'll be an option. Because realistically, there's no way that you're going to – let me see if I can get this bigger for you guys. Realistically, there's no way that you're going to sit up here and try to predict yourself that you're going to bet that you're going to be able to get to the quarterback on the most important side on – and I'm not shading none of my players. Y'all know I rock with my hot boys. But just business-wise, it would not be wise to put that on Tyrone Crawford, who didn't play last year, David Irvin, who didn't play last year, and also – Randy Gregory, who didn't play last year. And you got to remember, that's the most important side. So is it a need bigger than guard? In my opinion, no. Why? Because scoring points is the most important thing in NFL, period. Like, that's the most important thing you can do in football is score points. But it's the second most important thing. It definitely is the second most important thing. Now, what do I think? What do I think the Cowboys will need to do at it, man? I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you guys want the Cowboys to do? I do not honestly believe that Jadeveon Clowney is an option. I don't believe Everson Griffin is an option. So what do you guys give me some thoughts? What do you guys think? What are you guys thinking? My boy D Hammond, he says I keep saying that name. You're going to have to put the phonetics in the comment box so I can actually phonetically say that. But I keep hearing that name come up. That's a name that I definitely keep coming up. What would you guys like the Dallas Cowboys to do at 17? Richard, what's up with my supporter? I see you, man. My boy says there's going to be a guy like Quinn or an expiring contract that we could trade for a late pick. I mean, that's what they did last year. And think about it like this, right? If you were hoping that Randy Gregory is going to come back and be healthy and that he's going to be successful, you're hoping that he is going to be your right end, but at the same time, you shouldn't be betting on it. Meaning you need to insulate yourself just in case it doesn't happen. But at the same time, I don't want to overspend, because if it does happen, which I believe it's going to happen, now you have two guys that you got to make a decision on: the guy that you just drafted and the guy that you've been not necessarily investing money because he ain't costing, but you've been investing your time. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a conundrum that the Dallas Cowboys are in right now. But I mean, right in is definitely a need, in my opinion, as of still of right now. I think your three biggest holes still right now are guard. As we can see, obviously, right in is a need, and then my third biggest need is linebacker. But I want to know, what do you guys want to do, man? What do you guys want to do? What do you guys want to do at right end? What are your thoughts? My boy Cody says for the 17th pick in 2020, the Dallas Cowboys take Chase Young. Oh, man, come on now. he gonna have to literally smoke. He can't even smoke weed. Like literally, weed is legal now. So if Chase Young smokes weed live on air with West Coast, guess what happened? He's gonna probably fall to the 3rd pick. That's it, at best. Like, man, them dudes is not tripping no more. Like, he gonna literally have to like, I don't know. He had to get involved with a violent crime to fall 17th. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. My boy Rob said, my boy Rob, supporter, I appreciate you, man. Hey, remember, if y'all want to become a supporter, man, all you got to do is hit that supporter tab, and all he does is, continue to, support stuff like this, keep it on the air. But, hey, my boy Rob said 17, he wants to see the best linebacker or DE available. I think you also need to put guard in there, brother, because there might be a chance. You got to think like this. D-ends, those are, you got to say it like this. If someone gave you an option of possibly getting, because by 17, it could easily be the 3rd best D-end coming off the board. Or would you rather have the number 1 guard in the draft? The Cowboys might have to make a thought. We might have to come up with a thought like that. Because at 17, I can almost guarantee you that Chase is going to be gone. And then I would think, every team that needs a D-end that's in front of us that knows he's not going to – they know they're not going to get Chase. They're not even counting him. You know what I'm saying? So what we need to be looking at is, at 17, you might have – the Cowboys might be in a situation where you're literally thinking about, do we pick the 2nd best or the 1st best at a position, or do we take the 3rd best D-end? And then also, you guys got to see it like this, man. Let's also talk about the mastration. Mastration mean the growth. You know what I'm saying? How do D-ends grow in the NFL if they're not picked in the top 5? Think about that for a minute, guys. That's the only bad thing about picking a D-end at 17 is the fact that he probably not going to do really much for you in this year. Why? Because most D-ends in their rookie year, unless they're top 5 picks, don't do a lot in the NFL. You want to know why? Because they're playing against overpriced, and not a lot of them even time. I take that back. I take that back. But most of them right tackles in the NFL, they ain't overpriced because they doing their job. You know what I'm saying? But they playing against some really good right tackles in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you don't see a lot of defensive ends coming in regardless if they're playing on the left side or the right side. You don't see a lot of them guys coming in and just instantly being effective. And it's not because they're not good. It's because of the level of competition that they're playing against. Hey, man, we got 100 people in here. Yeah, hey, man, y'all know we rap better when we got 100 folks in here. So can I get 82 shares right now? The easiest way for me to get 82 shares right now is for the 82 people that are currently live watching right now to give me a share right now. Give your boy a share one time. One share, it simply says that you care. Did I get him? I think I got him. Hey, I appreciate y'all, man. Fantasy football cowboy, what's up with you, man? He says Dilpit has failed some. I wouldn't mind trading back some to get Dilpit in a top 3 guard. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. If you can get that is like a perfect scenario. That is like the government taking us off of quarantine April 1st and the NFL draft saying we're back on and everything going back to normal. That is like a perfect scenario for West Coast. Why? Because then you can get two great assets. You know what I'm saying? I like it. Right end. My thing is this, with the right end, to kind of go back to the right end. What I see happening with right end is kind of like what my scout told me a little bit earlier. I wouldn't mind getting a Band-Aid at right end again for one more season. Why? Because I want to see what I can develop with Randy Gregory in a full year, like his bend. And I'm going to tell you guys, the last time that he was out of a season, he came back in, got 6.5 sacks. The only thing that's kept him off the field was the marijuana. The right end position, the right defensive end is a very, very expensive position. So if the Dallas Cowboys if you think about this, you're looking for a young guy right now who could possibly get you maybe 6 or 7 sacks on that right end. You know what I'm saying? I love Robert Quinn, but you got to remember, I think he got like 3 sacks in one game. Did he get 3 sacks in one game? I know he had 11.5 in the full season. You know what I'm saying? But I think the Dallas Cowboys, if we can find someone that can get you between 7 and 8 sacks on that other end with a combination of another young guy, I think the Cowboys will be all right for a year. But I definitely do not believe that this is a situation where the Dallas Cowboys need to go in and spend $20 million on a Jadeveon Clowney. You know what I'm saying? Now, do I think would I be interested, me personally, would I be interested in Everson Griffin? Yes, I would be. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying, since the Dallas Cowboys are putting it out there so early that they're not, it leads me to believe that they're probably going to go younger. You know what I'm saying? They're probably going to go younger. Richard says the Cowboys don't draft BPA. They draft to fill holes. You're absolutely right, man. That's why I tell people, BPA is the best player available, right? The best player available. What if the best player available is a quarterback? You think the Cowboys are going to take him? No, they're not. They're not going to take him. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'll give you guys a better scenario. Give me the best guard in Kyle Duggar. Let's go. I'll take that. I'll take that real quick. You know what I'm saying? A good safety and another one. I'll take them. Hey, man, before we get up out of here, man, hey, I can see the shares because I can see the groups going up, man. You already know it's better when it's better when it's 100. We had 105, man. Let's see if we can get to 150. Hey, man, who's the Star Lord over here? Who is the chat? Hey, we got some super chatters over here. Tyrone Church, he says, what do you think about DN Jordan Jenkins? I got to get a little bit more information on him. Brandon Dubb says, I don't think he has the motor or the heart. Who are you talking about? My boy says D-Law and Gerald McCoy. That is going to be nasty, man. That is going to be nasty. But I'm going to tell you guys what I would like to see. I would actually like to see, in a perfect world, I would like for the Dallas Cowboys to get a right end and move Tyrone Crawford to defensive tackle and let him play right beside his best friend and see what happens. I feel like Tyrone Crawford and DeMarcus Lawrence play so freaking well together, and it's because they have so much, that is literally, they're like best friends. You know what I'm saying? And I would love to see that happen. Like the Cowboys, we tried to do it with Randy Gregory and Malik Collins. I don't know if you guys remember, but Malik Collins and Randy Gregory were real good friends in college. So the Cowboys kind of, we didn't draft them together. We drafted them a year after each other, but they still played on that same defensive line. We tried to pair those guys up together. But I would really like to see what happens there. My boy Greg says, need a quarterback too. If I'm not mistaken, we just re-signed Cooper Rush to a 1-year deal, so we actually have a backup quarterback, but I understand what you're talking about, probably for the long term. All right, Brian over here on YouTube says, depends how the player in the draft gets picked, so if it's the top DN falls, I could see them moving up and getting them. I could see it too. Hey, man, I don't know if you guys heard, but the draft in Vegas did get canceled. You know what I'm saying? It did get canceled. They're going to have it in a studio somewhere, which makes sense because it's like if you can't go outside and every hotel in Vegas is shut down, why even go? Just so that you can pretty much say that you're in Vegas. That made no sense. Robin says, hey, West Coast, just got in for my business. Sorry, I missed the show. That would be smart to move, TC. Hey, I appreciate you, Robin, and hey, be safe out there. But absolutely, I think it would be good. I think Crawford inside would be nasty. And my thing is this, if a guy hasn't played in less than a year, what's easier for him to come back and just stop the run, a guy that's coming at you, or him coming in and literally trying to get after the quarterback? I think that's harder. You know what I'm saying? And I think if you're looking at Tyrone Crawford's body, his body has always been a D tackle. He's always been a big dude. He's built more, you know what I'm saying? He's a bigger, in my opinion, his body's always been more solid than it has been him, getting, him speed off the end. Now, he can do it, and that's why I do love about Tyrone Crawford, because in a panic attack, guess what? He can slide off each side. My boy says, do we have any news on Ron Leary? No, we have no news on Ron Leary, and that's why I believe that guard is going to be the pick at 17. Why? Because unless they do something between now and then, you know what I'm saying? Unless we do something between now and then, if we do something at night, I think guard is going to be the pick at 17. Why? Because at the end of the day, I think that's going to be the best position. That's going to be the best position available that we have our need. And remember, I told you guys in the draft, I believe the Dallas Cowboys draft holes. We don't draft best player available. Whatever hole that we have, that's what we're going to draft. And right now, man, our biggest hole right now is on that guard position. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, I want to talk a little bit about Tony Peasy, about Tony P. Nasty, man. I want to talk about him, man. Hey, what was your thoughts on Tony Pollard last year, man? What was your biggest concern with him last year? Macho says, are you worried about the secondary? I know you see it up there. We're going to talk about them for a little bit. What was your thoughts on Tony P?
Let me know. Why y'all fill that in, man? Word from our sponsor.
What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. Yo, in 2020, I've teamed up with my hot boy Jalen Smith, number 54, to bring you guys some of the most exclusive eyewear known to man. CEV. I mean, everybody's wearing them. Make sure you guys go over to CEVcollection.com today and use promo code CEV West Coast to get yourself a hot boy discount today.
Brian. Boy, don't you, boy, these are new. Them is the Marilyn Monroe's, baby. I got you at the trip. Don't trip.
What's up with
we
you
back
guys?
up in this piece, man. Hey, we back up in here like we never left. Hey, my boy Brian said he went over to the website. Hey, these are the Marilyn Monroe's. These are the clear. I went with the clear ones. The reason why I went with the clear is because I wanted to be able to wear these and be live at the same time. Boss Cowboy. I forgot the ones that the ones that he has, but he has the sun visor ones, and I'll be getting some in too. But these are dope, man. I love them. They're very comfortable, and they weigh very, like, they don't feel like you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't feel like cheap glasses. Like, I'm just keeping it 1,000 with you. Like, I would never push anything, regardless if it's a player or not. I never push some BS on y'all. You know what I'm saying? And they feel very sturdy. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. Hey, I didn't kill that fly either. Oh my mom. Now he gonna land on the dang thing I'm trying to kill him with. This fly gangster. He gangster. He one of them gangster flies. I'm gonna kill him though. All right, so yo, man, what was y'all thoughts on TP last year, man? What was y'all thoughts on TP? What was your thoughts on? We had a bunch of good comments on there. My biggest thing with TP is this, right? I don't think he's on the football field enough. Like, I think that Tony Pollard needs to be on the field more. Like, he's one of the most electric offensive players on our team. And you know what you need to do? You need to find ways to get him on the field more. Not necessarily saying he got to get the ball more. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because in a running formation, I want Zeke to get the ball. But I'm going to tell you this. He needs to touch the ball more. And I'm going to tell you guys the first thing you need to do with him, you need to get him involved with that passing game, man. So I asked you guys, because we always trying to find creative ways to save money here. You know what I'm saying? This is kind of a thought I brought up. You know what I'm saying? I like to bring up thoughts, and then I keep on beating it over you guys' head, because I know the first time I bring up something, you be like, there's no way that Chris Richard sucks. All right, man. I'll be like, all right, man, he doing all that talking. But I don't see no interceptions, though. You know what I'm saying? So I just keep on beating it over the head, and then eventually I start seeing in the comment box like, yeah, you know what, man? You know what, West Coast? I did take your advice. I did go to YouTube. I did type in Tony Pollard, Memphis. I did see him catch the ball behind the second level. Remember, the second level is behind the what? Linebackers. I did see him just go dumb. Like dumb, da-dum, 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 da-dum. I did see Tony Pollard take 7 kickoff returns to the house. To the house. I did, West Coast. I saw it. I saw it through the clear eye view. I saw it, West Coast. So West Coast, yes, I am in total agreement. That's what if you did what I asked you to do. If you did what I asked you to do and go to YouTube, if you're watching me right now, you have the ability to do this. Go to YouTube, type in Tony Pollard, and type in Memphis, and just get you some popcorn, get you a nice little spot you want to sit on the couch. You know what I'm saying? If you could put it on your flat screen, because I know y'all be stunned, put it on your flat screen. And just allow that man to just amaze you. You know what I'm saying? Just allow him to just amaze you. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, Tony Pollard is the type of player, like, I hate it. I absolutely hate it with every being of my body when they say Tony Pollard a running back. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. He's not a running back. He's a weapon. He's a weapon. Go see how Memphis used him. He is a weapon. Fantasy says, he says, Pollard needs more time. The problem is you didn't have any creativity last year's staff. Good point. But guess what? Same guy's going to be calling plays. I know. Cam says, I don't know what all these acronyms. I'm new to Instagram. My Instagram is cracking. Praise God for it. But I'm still new to it. So y'all got to, like, some of these acronyms like KMSL. I have no clue what that is. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't take Bill Belichick successful with the roster. That's a mind-blowing. Mia, what's up with you? I guess she's agreeing with you. Fantasy football. She says definitely going to be a problem to get more rep. Definitely got to be a problem if he gets more reps. And I'm going to tell you guys what you also do too, man. With Tony Pollard, man, at Memphis, the number one thing that Tony Pollard did is they always made sure that they found creative ways to get him on a linebacker. And I'm going to tell you guys something else. This is your next homework for This is your homework for today. And I'm going to go live later on today. I'm going to go live with Boss Cowboys, so don't trip. So I will be checking this. I need you to go Google Tony Pollard versus LVE and Tony Pollard versus Jalen Smith, right? Them is the homies, too. This CEV. Matter of fact, don't tell Jalen Smith I told you. All right, don't share this with Jalen Smith, all right? Because I don't want him getting into that about. But no, I'm just playing. It's film. If it's out there, it's out there. But go Google Tony Pollard on linebackers, some of the best linebackers in the game as a rookie, and see what that young man does to them. Turns them around, bruh. Turns them around. And this is not in the run. This is not in the rushing game. This is not in the rushing game. This is Tony Pollard coming out of the backfield, wheel routing. What up, Chris? Wheel routing. Just coming out. Putting that foot in the ground and just ooey. Like, bro, his shoulder game is ridiculous. Like, Tony Pollard is a guy right here. Like, his shoulder game is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Once them shoulders get moving, if he catch you looking at them shoulder, he's going to make you miss for sure. So that's the number one thing that the Dallas Cowboys need to do in 2020 is they need to utilize Tony Pollard the exact same way that you utilize Randall Cobb. Now, go look at Randall Cobb early in his career. Randall Cobb early in his career was damn near Tony Pollard. Lord, forgive me, Jesus. I did not mean to say damn near. Hey, is damn a bad word? If it is, that's my one for the day. Dang, I used it on a sucky one too. But yeah, man, if you really want to see what I want the Dallas Cowboys to do with Tony Pollard, I want him to develop him into Randall Cobb. That's what I want them to do, minus the injuries. Because Randall Cobb was ridiculous early in his career. And you know what he had? He had a running back, a kickoff return background. That's what he was. They were the same dude. You know what I'm saying? My boy Maurice says, need TP to be better inside the tackles. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want Tony Pollard running on the inside of on the tackles. I don't want Tony Pollard running on the inside of the tackles. That's the thing about Tony Pollard. If you go look at, and that's why I say, like, a lot of times people will disagree with me just because this is the first time they've heard it. And it's okay, because if you watch my show more than enough times, I will continue to explain it, and then it'll make sense. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm one of those types of people where I don't believe the things that people tell me too when they first see it. That's why I so believe in film. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell you guys, if you really go look at Tony Pollard's film, if you go look at Tony Pollard, the player, I mean, if you're looking at his film in Memphis, then that technically means you're looking at the reason why the Dallas Cowboys drafted him, right? The Dallas Cowboys, Tony Pollard wasn't running inside the tackles in college. You know who was running inside the tackles in college? The new starting running back for the Rams. Like, that's who was starting. Like, it's so funny because, like, that's how I know a lot of people didn't really scout Tony Pollard when he was coming in. You guys just got him on the team, and then you just believe what the Cowboys gave him. You know what I'm saying? But for us folks who actually watched his film, got ourselves updated, he didn't run into tackles. That's why your boy West Coast last year, when everybody was saying, if Zeke doesn't come back, Tony Pollard can carry the load. And I was the only one banging the turf saying, no, he cannot. No, he can't. That's why they also drafted Mike Weber, because the Cowboys knew that. Tony Pollard is a weapon. The development of Tony Pollard should go into a Randall Cobb-ish. They are the exact same player. Go look at Randall Cobb in college. He was exceptionary after the catch. Exactly same thing he does now. Randall Cobb, when he catches the ball, guess what he does? He turns into a running back. He goes back to what he knows. Randall Cobb, what is he also? Special teams. He also worked the special teams. Now, as you get older, you do less special teams. But if the Dallas Cowboys really want to know, if you're looking for an end result of what you want in Tony Pollard, it's Randall Cobb. And I'm going to be honest with you, if I'm Tony Pollard, I want to develop into Randall Cobb. You want to know why? Because, one, bro, you're never going to replace Ezekiel Elliott. So being a backup to Ezekiel Elliott is not going to get you anywhere. Like, to be honest with you, it's not going to get you anywhere in the NFL. And his body type is not built like a running back. So if he wants to stay and play longer in the NFL, this would be the route he would go anyway. You know what I'm saying? My boy Maurice says, if Zeke goes down, then we have nothing to get us through tough yards inside. Yes, you do. You draft a running back, baby. That's all you do. Like, I think a lot of times people think when you move someone else, you don't go get someone else. No, you do. You go draft someone else. What if I told you the Dallas Cowboys brought in a guy like Deontay Freeman to back up Ezekiel Elliott? That's what you want, backing up Ezekiel Elliott. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if Zeke goes down, Tony Pollard's not carrying the load, Big Daddy. He not. He not doing it. No. He not. Tony Pollard, that's not his game. Tony Pollard's game is outside the tackles and getting the ball on the opposite side of the linebackers. Like Reggie Bush. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Tony Pollard, you're right, Miko. He would be better than Cobb because he's faster. He's more agile. My boy Lockhart says that Tony Pollard can carry the load. I mean, I disagree with you. His body disagrees with you. He's never done it before. He says you can switch up the game. Then if you switch up the game, that means you're going to add 10 pounds on. You're going to add 10 pounds on Tony Pollard. You know what you do? You lose the elusiveness. And this is what I'm telling you guys, right? Why? Why would I want to add 5 to 6 pounds on someone so that he could carry the load? That makes no sense. Go get a guy who can do that. Like, you want someone who's opposite. If Ezekiel Elliott, you want a running back who can handle 7-man fronts. That's what you want. When you play teams like Washington, who are basically going to say, F you, we're going to stop you from running the ball. What is a guy like Tony Pollard going to help you in those situations? Nothing. He's not. And what you need to do is you need to be concerned with stretching the field with your running backs and also a guy that's going to help you put years on Ezekiel Elliott. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need to do. Like, that's what you think. My boy says, I think Pollard can be a 4-down back. That's because you think it. It's not because it's true, though. I believe that I can still play in the NFL. I believe. You know what I'm saying? I believe it. I believe I can go play some semi-pro right now. But it doesn't mean it's true, though. And to be honest with you guys, if the Dallas Cowboys thought it was true, why did we sign Alfred Morris? Like, think about this, right? Like, we have to pay attention to some of the Cowboys' moves, and we got to stop pretending like they didn't happen. Like, for all of us people that say that the Dallas Cowboys had faith that Tony Pollard could carry the load for a season, why did we give Alfred Morris to be our starting running back for $1 million? And then you know what we did? As soon as Ezekiel Elliott signed, we released him. And Tony Pollard went right back. So if the Dallas Cowboys, and then the second thing is this, why at Tony Pollard, I want both of these guys to have long-lasting careers in the NFL. I want Tony Pollard to have a long-lasting career in the NFL. So you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not running him into tackles. Why? Because he's undersized for that. Not doing that. I'm not doing that. See, I think a lot of people, as soon as you start saying that someone can't do that, you automatically assume that they're not good at it. No, it's not that they're not good at it, but it's like this. Why not put him in front of the offensive line, in front of it? You know what I'm saying? But this is what I'm going to do, right? If you haven't watched the film, you can't argue with me. Blessings. But this is my thing, right? My boy Robin says, I'm looking at TP Now highlights. What do you see, Robin? What do you see? My boy Rob says Deontay Freeman should be an ideal backup. Absolutely. Andre says if he wants leg longevity, stay outside in the slot opposed to the linebackers. Thank you. My boy Ryan says, bro, he carried the ball almost 90 times and averaged 5 yards a carry. That man has power and speed. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. 90 times. But this is the thing, right? As a full backup running back, how am I going to give the ball to TP 200 times? That's not going to happen. See, a lot of you guys automatically say, whenever I switch on something, you guys automatically assume that I'm saying that he's not good at it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that Tony Pollard would be better. I don't care the Dallas Cowboys didn't draft Tony Pollard as a running back. That's not what we drafted him as. Because his running in college superseded his passing game in college superseded everything they did on the running back game. Like the Dallas Cowboys knew when we drafted Tony Pollard, we were going to be using him as a weapon. That's the reason why we also drafted Mike Weber. Why do you think we drafted 2 running backs in the same draft class? Think about that. And then we still written got Alfred Morris. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm Tony Pollard right now, you know what I'm also open to? I'm also open to the fact that a slot receiver gonna make way more money than a backup running back. I know a slot receiver right now that just got paid $9 million. I know a slot receiver 2 years ago that got paid $10 million. That's what I know. My boys say we don't need another running back, but we're a running team. Yeah, we do need another running back. We for sure need another running back because think about this. If Zeke goes down and Tony Pollard is your starting running back, who's your backup? Who's your running back? Who's your backup? If you guys, it's funny because the same people who say that Ezekiel Elliott won't last is the same people who in their mind think that Tony Pollard, who is 10 pounds, who's really smaller than Ezekiel Elliott, can do the exact same thing and run between Zeke and last just as long. Do you guys not see Zeke limping off the league? Do you not see that? And also, guys, come on, go. Hey, my brother YFN, I need you to update. Mike Weber no longer plays for the Dallas Cowboys. Mike Weber got a Super Bowl. Mike Weber plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. Mike Weber's been playing for the Kansas City Chiefs since week 13 of the NFL. Remember, the Chiefs pulled him off the roster. Remember that, brother? You know what I'm saying? Update them stats, brother. You know what I'm saying? But Mike Weber's not on the team no more. You know what I'm saying? He plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. Talked to his sister and his family last week. D. Jermaine says utilize him like Kamara, who's in the slot a lot also. Absolutely. I like that, D-Dan, man. I like that. That's creativity. Because I'm going to tell you guys right now, I want Tony Pollard to do what he did in training camp to our linebackers, to all these other linebackers. That's what I want to see him do. And when I do that, I take that away from him. You want to know why? Because, and I'm going to also tell you guys something like this. Tony Pollard is good. He is always going to make the first man miss, right? So why not make the first man miss be the safety versus him trying to make a defensive tackle miss and then get to a linebacker? That's 5 yards. If I run Tony Pollard on a wheel route, he catches it. He makes one guy miss. He's taking it to the house. And think about this. And I love me some Zeke. But realistically, if you're looking at big playability, who has the ability to take a play to the house every time he touches it? Tony Pollard. I'm sorry. Tony P does. So how do I help him? I help him by getting him away from the defensive, from the first level. Like, that's just common football. For all my go look at USC fans, right? Go look at my USC fans. Go look at what they did with Reggie Bush. Every single play, you know what he did? He ran right in front of the linebacker. He set up, he kept the ball, and he took off running. That's what he did. If you want to see Tony Pollard at his best, what you need to see is him in the middle of the field and letting him do work. That's what you need to see. I don't want to see Tony Pollard in the backfield. I don't want to see that. If anybody's going to run the ball from the backfield, give it to Zeke. Tell me this right here. Is Tony Pollard a better running back than Ezekiel Elliott? No, he's not. Okay, so if somebody's going to be running the ball, it needs to be Zeke. Zeke had 5 games last year where he only had 12 carries. 12. You're paying a guy $14 million a year to give him the ball 12 times? Slap yourself. No, we need to give Zeke the ball 20, 25 times every game. So with that puts Tony Pollard out there on them flanks. And I'm going to tell you this, all the money that you were going to pay Randall Cobb, you save all that money. So what if I told you that you can put Tony Pollard in the slot, save about $6 million. Why? Because Tony Pollard's already signed, so you don't even got to pay him. All you got to do is tell him to go to the other side. That's it. And then you can still get yourself a running back like Freeman or someone in the draft for even cheaper than what you're saving money around, and you're getting better talent. You're a better team. I'll let you go spend that $6 million on somebody else. Who y'all want to get? Because you're going to tell me right now that Tony Pollard won't be as good or better than Randall Cobb in the slot? And then you're going to tell me that you can't find a backup running back who did what Tony Pollard did? I believe he can. Zeke is a better running back. That's why I don't mind Zeke being in the backfield. Tony Pollard is better in space. Zeke is not going to make you miss.
He's not going to. Tony Pollard will. And since Tony Pollard will make you miss, put him on the ends. Why? Because guess what? If you make a defensive end, like, can I ask for all my football heads, for anybody that's played running back, if you make a defensive tackle miss, what happens next? Probably a linebacker hits you. If you're on the end, I throw the ball to you and you make a corner miss, what happens next? Well, if that safety doesn't run 10 yards as fast as possible, you're going to the house. That's what happens. We're trying to score points here, people. We're trying to score points. All right, man. We're going to talk about a little bit more before we get up out of here, man. Diggy diggy dum dum dum, diggy dum dum dum. What is y'all thoughts, man? What are y'all thoughts? What y'all want to talk about? I keep hearing Snacks Harrison come up. Question of the day before we get out of here, man. Are you guys happy with free agents so far? Hey, and if you guys haven't liked and subscribed, I appreciate you guys liking and subscribing. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. And also make sure you hit that follow button. Brian says draft a running back in the latter rounds in the fourth and get someone to pound the ball behind Zeke. Absolutely. Hey, I told you guys last year that Todd Gurley I told you guys two things was going to happen last year in the running back class. I told you guys that Madison from the goddamn that got drafted from Boise State. That was Boss Cowboys pick. That dude is a dog. Like, he's a dog over there in Minnesota, and he ended up dogging. And then we also told you about my boy Henderson, that the Tony P's real good friend who's a starter for the Rams. Like, think about this. The guy who started over Tony P, Henderson, he was so good that the Rams released Todd Gurley, and he's going to have to be their starter. Like, this dude is that good. Go Google him. Like, he's that good. And that was their every down back. Tony Pollard was not their every down back, but I ain't gonna go back into all that, man. We ain't gonna go back. But y'all just go watch it. But put Tony P at that wide receiver / slot position. And then, hey, my last thing I'm gonna say on Tony P is this, right? For all y'all people who really, really want Tony P to be a running back still, guess what? He can still be a running back because there's this thing called motion. You just put your hand up and he runs right in the backfield. And guess what? Now he's in the backfield as a running back. Boom. There you go. Mia says, wish we could get Everson Griffin. I liked it, Everson Griffin, but Mike Fisher put out a tweet today that said that they were not interested. So, I'm more inclined to think that the Cowboys aren't interested, especially if Mike Fisher saying it. He's pretty spot on with his stuff. Mariko says, shouldn't have let go of Quinn. We didn't let go of Quinn, man. Like, we didn't let go of Quinn. Like, Quinn got paid ridiculous. Like, there's no way the Cowboys were going to give him that type of money. Kerry says, someone asks you if Tony P plays the slot, will you still want to bring in Dez? Yes, because Tony P Tony P's like 5, what is he, like 5'11"? Like, Tony P does not run to the back of the end zone and jump straight up. Dez, let me make you guys understand this, right? Dez, touchdowns, period. That's what I'm thinking about. The only reason I will ever think of not bringing in Dez Bryant is if you bringing someone in that relates to touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? You Cowboys trade for Travis Kelce. Yeah, we might not need Dez no more. You know what I'm saying? Because he scores touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? But none of these moves translate to touchdowns. We need touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Touchdowns. Who can cover him in the slot? Guessing that's why we haven't brought Dez back. I mean, I don't think that's necessarily true. I just think the Cowboys are, you have more important. If you notice, the Cowboys are paying for the stuff that's more important right now. Like, Dez is and to be honest with you, like, Dez, even in Antoine Woods, like I think it's more or less like the top free agent. Like, Dez is not a top week 1 free agent, so there would be no reason for him to be getting signed from any team right now. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think it has to go more with that. Like, don't get caught up in that, that's why. Whenever people always say, that's why they're not doing it, that's usually not the reason. I mean, a lot of times they're going to sign what's more important to the team right now. You know what I'm saying? And you can get the best deal on Dez, probably signing him late. Robert, what up with your man? Kendrick says we need another DN. You absolutely correct. My boy Kendrick says we need a cornerback number 1. I disagree with that. I think you have. Appreciate you for the 400 stars. I believe you got a cornerback number 1. You know what I'm saying? And name me a wide receiver who blew us up last year. Like, tell me a wide receiver who burned us last year. None. Like, none. Like the biggest play in last year for the Dallas Cowboys defense was Robbie Anderson on a broken play. You know what I'm saying? So I know a lot of us are so inclined on, oh my God, we got to go get this number one cornerback. If that was the case, they would have just paid Byron Jones. Like, if you really thought we needed, like, that's so funny to me. Like, if you really thought the Cowboys thought that they really, really needed a cornerback number one, they would have just paid Byron Jones. They would have just paid him. You know what I'm saying? We would just paid him. Or we would have just paid him last year. But, I mean, we've been fine without a cornerback. Like, we've been perfectly fine. I know we need more turnovers, but guess what? The whole unit didn't get in turnovers. So that lets me know that, hey, this new coach with a new mindset might come in here and might actually come in here and be a guy that actually focuses on that. Because I'm going to tell you guys this right now. If your entire team is not doing something, it's because the team is not focusing on it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm curious to see what Jordan Lewis is going to be able to do and Cheeto is going to be able to do. And I'm it's hard for me to think that a corner is going to come in here and outplay either one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? That's my real opinion. Like, everyone's saying, oh, you need a corner. You don't need no corner. You don't need a corner. The Cowboys are fine. Like, the Cowboys are fine at corner. You know what I'm saying? Cowboys are fine. And my thing is this, man. If you get a defensive tackle, that means you're not running the ball on the Cowboys, right? That means all of your play action passes are going to be more obvious. That means all your passing plays are going to be more obvious. Getting effective pass rush in the front is going to do what? It's also going to force what? Less timing on your quarterbacks. That means the ball is going to be in the air more. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have more opportunities to get their hands on the ball. You know what I'm saying? And then more importantly right now, if you draft a corner at 17, is he coming in and starting over Jordan Lewis or Chidobe Awuzie right now? No, he's not. He's not going to. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if he's not going to do it, you're literally drafting a guy at 17 to come in doing what? To come in here and be your slot cornerback or be your fourth cornerback. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. So, I mean, I think the Dallas Cowboys will invest some money in corner, but at 17, I'm cool on corner. Like, I'm cool. The Dallas Cowboys went with this. They went with Jordan Lewis and Chidobe Awuzie as their starting cornerbacks in 2017 for the last 8 games, and they were ranked a top 10 cornerback tandem leaving the NFL. So, I mean, I'm inclined to say what they can do together again. And to be honest with you, I'm actually more inclined to say that Byron Jones and him moving to cornerback actually stumped Jordan Lewis's growth. Like, think about this. Look what we saw from Jordan Lewis this year, and that was after Anthony Brown had to get hurt and him have to sneak on the field. Imagine what imagine what Jordan Lewis could do coming into a year knowing that he's a starter. Like, imagine what he can do with that. Jordan Lewis, a guy who was a 3rd-round pick who fell. Remember, Jordan Lewis had a misdemeanor case that he got exonerated for 2 days after the draft. If that doesn't happen, he's getting drafted high in the 2nd round. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's kind of like my thoughts on that, man. Like, I'm more inclined right now with improving that front. Improve my front, and every else thing stops, man. Like while you guys are up here saying we need a cornerback, think about this. The top 5 passing teams in the NFL last year didn't even make the playoffs. But guess who did? The top 4 running teams made the playoffs. So you know what that lets me know? You had better be able to stop the run. If you can't stop the run, then guess what? You're probably not going to go far in the NFL. Derrick Henry went crazy. First round of the playoffs, rushed for like 127-something, 31 attempts. They won the game. Next game, he ran for 34 attempts, like 140-something. 33 attempts. They won the game. Very next week, what did he do? Rushed for like 12 attempts, less than 100 yards. Guess what they did? They lost the game. You know what I'm saying? If you cannot stop the run, if you can stop the run, you'll be able to do everything else. You know what I'm saying? Put on a pair of Jordans, your whole outfit will look cute. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how it is. Women do it too. Women, y'all do it too. Put on a nice pair of shoes, your whole outfit look cute. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is with cornerback right now. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know about this draft, man. I don't know. I'm not too keen on this draft right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I'm not too keen on rookies coming in and being effective. I haven't seen it in these years for me to be so solidified that a rookie's gonna come in here and beat the guys that we have out right now. Let me take a couple more stuff before I get up out of here. But Dwayne says, you're right, West Coast. I was wishing they would have used him more last season. Definitely hoping this season they will. And then my thing at safety is this, man. I know I'm not letting the Donovan Wilson thing go. Like, I'm not letting that go. Like, you guys want to pin you want to literally pick, you want to spend a 17th pick, first round pick on a guy. And we have a guy right now who meets all the criteria that your coach said. He said he wants a ball hawk, a guy who gets his hands on the ball. That's what Donovan Wilson does. Like, I don't care if he didn't play last year in the NFL. Everywhere he's played, whether it's been at Texas A&M, whether that been in high school, the kid has always gotten his hands on the ball. That needs to be, we need to examine that. We need to take a look at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to take a look at that. They say Dak and Zeke were rookies. Yes, exactly. They were. Zeke was the 4th overall pick. Do we have the 4th overall pick? I don't know. Do we? Do we have the 4th overall pick? Okay. No, we don't have the 4th overall pick. So guess what? That means we're not getting the 4th best player in this draft. No. At best, we're going to get the 16th best player because we'll be picking 17. You know what I'm saying? So there's a huge difference between the 4th best player in the draft and the 17th best player in the draft. Totally difference. You know what I'm saying? So now, think about that same question. How effective you think Dak would have been with the 17th pick running back in this draft? You think 2016 happened? We think that? I don't think so, guys. Because Zeke was pretty damn good in that 2016, that 5.6 yards per carry, that 6.5 carries, that 6.5 yards he averaged on first down. I know that helped him out a whole lot. I know it helped him out a whole lot. He says Dak was a 4th rounder. Yeah, he was a 4th rounder that was helped by a fourth overall pick. You know what I'm saying? On the same offense. So I think they kind of helped each other. But do we have that situation this year? Do we have the 4th overall pick? Because I'm going to tell you guys right now, if we had the 4th overall pick, this would be a totally different conversation. Because the 4th overall best player in the draft versus the 17th, that's 2 totally different worlds. And go look at the paycheck on those guys. That's 2 totally different paychecks. One guy's making like $24 million, the other guy's making like $3 million. You know what I'm saying? Joe says, you never know, though. Sometimes you get lucky. Yeah, you do. But, I mean, also think about this. When Dak came in, what also helped Dak to get in the position he got in? Because think about this. Dak, in all his greatness, if Tony Romo doesn't get hurt, if Kellen Moore doesn't hurt his foot, if he doesn't break his ankle, you never even know who Dak is. Dak is still the rookie of the year sitting on the roster. But unless Tony Romo gets hurt in a goddamn in a preseason game, and then Kellen Moore breaks his foot. Well, actually, Kellen Moore broke his ankle first. Kellen Moore breaks his ankle, which then puts Dak Prescott up to the second round, the second guy, and then Tony Romo got hurt for 8 weeks. You never even know who Dak Prescott is. So you're absolutely right. You do need some luck. Because guess what? If Tony Romo doesn't get hurt against the Seattle Seahawks, Dak Prescott never plays. Or at least until Romo gets hurt, at least. So you're absolutely right. You for sure need some luck. You do need some luck. All right, man. So, hey, man. He says, I'm sold on rookies coming in. He said, I'm sold on rookies coming in, making an immediate impact, but they definitely are going to have a significant contribution. Absolutely. At 17, you got to have significant contribution. And that's why, for me, a criteria for me to pick you at pick 17 is you have to have the ability to come in and play right now. And not necessarily because you can play, but because there's a need there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to draft a cornerback because I already have 2 cornerbacks. I'm going to draft a guy so I can hope you can beat out these guys. That doesn't make any sense to me. When you actually need a guard. Like right now, you need a guard. Right now on DallasCowboys.com, they have Connor Williams listed as your starting guard right now, right? And then behind him, they have Xavier Su'a-Filo. Well, Xavier Su'a-Filo doesn't play here anymore. Doesn't play here anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Larry, what up with you, man? Dak surrounding cast getting week 6 to 110 weeks. I don't know. Larry, chill out, man. You be all right. But yeah, but that's the first criteria, man, for me as far as a draft pick. That's why right now guard, right defensive end, and linebackers is my pick at 17 right now. You know what I'm saying? Those are my picks right now. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I'm going to tell you, the best way to kill a troll is to not pay attention to him. Keep it real. George says Dak would have definitely outplayed more in practice. Not necessarily, because a third-round quarterback doesn't even get the opportunity to outplay a guy. Like, that's not how practice is set up. Like, I'm sorry, guys, your third-string quarterback barely plays at practice. Like, keeping it real, he barely plays. So this isn't high school where you have like all these guys over here running plays. That's not how it is. Like, practices are so limited that your first string quarterback gets like 80% of the snaps. Like, literally like 80% of the snaps. Your backup's gonna get like 10, and then at like 15, and the third string guy is gonna get like nothing. Like, I'm just being all the way 1,000 with you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he would have had the opportunity to beat him out. And you got to think like this. Kellen Moore had already started for the Dallas Cowboys. He started from week 13. The previous year, he started week 13, 14, 15, and 16, if I'm not mistaken, and we didn't win a damn game. What about you, Robert? Hey, I'm about to get out of here, man. Let me see. Gary, what up with you? Dolph says, I need one more move in free agent agency for Everson Griffin. They said Mike Fisher said yesterday that they were not interested in him, so I am more inclined to think that they're not. Coronavirus. Bored. Derek says, Kendrick Mason says would have been definitely good. Hey, I don't know. Whatever y'all talking about in the comment box, I appreciate it. But hey, yo, hey. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. I got former Dallas Cowboy and free agent guard Kadeem Edwards coming on the show tomorrow. He's going to be talking about that 2018 season when the Dallas Cowboys were 3-5 and then turned it around and went to the second round of the playoffs. I'm very interested to talk to him about that. Also, I'm going to talk to him about the state of the offensive line, the importance of guards, tackles, and all that good stuff. So if you have some good offensive line questions, come tomorrow. And this guy is a guy who used to play for us about a year ago, man. So he should definitely have some good information on what's, the state of the Dallas Cowboys and things like that, man. And, as we are all stuck at home, man, it is your boy West Coast who's going to be bringing you that coverage every single day. And my scout Leah said, I think she was talking about me when she said I'm Corona bored. You absolutely right. I am definitely coronavirus bored. And I'm paying way too much for this internet, so I figured out this. I got to use it, man. So as you guys are stuck at home, I'm stuck at home with you guys, but we're going to get through this together, man, one day at a time. But most importantly, man, you guys already know what it is. Hey, before I get out of here, hey, shout out to the sponsors, man. Shout out to the sponsors. We're gonna end on the sponsors today, man. Shout out to the bro, my boy, Jalen Smith for sponsoring the show. Shout out to CEV for putting these beautiful frames on my face, man. And you guys already know what it is. Never look down because the stars up. Peace.
What's up with you guys? It's your boy West Coast. Yo, in 2020, I've teamed up with my hot boy, Jalen Smith, number 54, to bring you guys some of the most exclusive eyewear known to man. CEV. I mean, everybody's wearing them. Make sure you guys go over to CEVcollection.com today and use promo code CEV West Coast to get yourself a hot boy discount today.